Hello, my name is Jack Edwards. For my research project, I decided to investigate the impact the construction industry has on climate change. My family has been involved in the construction industry for 3 generations and feel that these issues will greatly impact our world. According to research from the U.S. Energy Information Administration, the building sector was responsible for 44% of the U.S. CO2 emissions in 2010. This is 10% more than CO2 output than all transportation in the US. The construction industry is facing a crisis that can affect our planet for thousands of years. There needs to be a major overhaul in the entire industry. There is many of companies and experts out there offering solutions to combat the construction industry effects on climate change. Before we start solving climate change, we first need to grasp what it is. Climate change is when the natural temperature of Earth is affected by burning of fossil fuels. This can and will lead to oceans rising, extreme droughts, and many other ecological disasters. On the slide, I presented the Oxford Dictionary's definition of climate change. Dr. Sergey Sadukias, in a 2019 article from Construction Pros, written by Kimberly Hagen, 2019, talks about how many people in the industry has not grasped the idea of climate change and are not willing to adapt their building practices to combat CO2 output. Traditional building practices are not efficient and lead to large amount of pollution. Many builders use cheap grade materials that cannot be recycled. Secondly, many companies use machinery that is outdated and does not have modern emission components on them. The U.S. Energy Information Administration of 2019 talks about how diesel engines was responsible for 24% of the U.S. transportation CO2 production. The old equipment many companies run today are not equipped with DPF, diesel particulate filters, or DEF, diesel exhaust fluid. This allows engines to release many harmful chemicals into our atmosphere. Another way the industry contributes to the CO2 production is inefficient building designs. Brent Trigan, 2018 article, talks about how many buildings that are built lack the ability to be efficient as one that are designed to be efficient. Many companies see this as a way for government to put more regulations on the industry. But this is a bigger deal than most realize. Dr. Sundukivis is in a 2019 article from Construction Pros, written by Kimberly Hagen in 2019, lists 4 major reasons the industry should be worried about the rise in climate change. These reasons are worker safety, weather-related delays, construction material design and manufacturing, and insurance costs. First off, climate change can affect workplace safety of your employees. Dr. Sandukia, in a 2019 article from Construction Pros, written by Kimberly Hagen in 2019, talks about how extreme hot days can lead to dehydration, which cause strokes and even death to employees. Also, weather is affected by climate change. Excess rain can lead to slip hazards, wind, and can lead to injuries from falling or falling objects. Harmon A. or Warren Myers G. Brown G. in a 2019 article states that jobs may cancel due to workers not being able to be safe. The next area is affected by climate change is weather-related delays. Dr. Sendukdius is a 2019 article from Construction Pros, written by Kimberly Hagen, explains that in the construction industry, profit margins are very small. and can lose a lot of money quickly by delays. Extreme weather delays, as stated in Hillman A., Warren Myers, and Brown G. 2019 article, will set projects back for days, even weeks. Examples of some of these extreme weather delays are cyclones, hailstorms, windstorm surges, and flooding, rivers, and seas. All of these weather conditions can set back a project with delays or even damages. Rising sea levels partly fall under this category because it easily floods a job and making it unworkable for weeks. Another reason why companies need to be concerned about the climate change in construction material design and manufacturing. Dr. Sandupius, in a 2019 article from Construction Pros written by Kimberly Hegan, explains how materials will need to be created more durable to deal with the extreme new weather conditions caused by climate change. This increasing cost of materials which individual companies will have to eat. Nurkat Omar Kuvak in 2020 article states that modern, more durable materials will be roughly 3 times the price of conventional ones. Also, due to climate change, many natural resources such as wood will start to become scarce, leading to another increase in price. The last cost to insure your company will go up. Dr. Shadupius, in a 2019 article written by Kimberly Hegan, elaborates on the subject more. Dr. Shadupius says construction companies increasingly find themselves facing increased insurance costs due to project delays, which are related to extreme weather and previous and actual labor risk. This means construction companies need to increase the cost of the project to cover rising insurance costs or stop pursuing certain construction projects due to the inability to afford insurance. What the industry is doing about climate change. Many companies have stepped up to the call and are coming out with new products that can help slow down climate change over the next couple of slides. I will go over the companies and products helping them out. The first one I would like to talk about is Integrated Environmental Solutions, IES. The B1M YouTube channel in 2020 talked about how this system operates. It allows builders to insert proposed building designs into software and stimulate how efficient the building is. This allows architects to design more environmental friendly buildings. One place this system is at is in an apartment complex in the UK. They have a touchscreen version in the lobby area, which allows residents to come in and interact with their own home. It also shows how up-to-date analysts on how well you're conserving energy. This system doesn't only provide a way to see a building respond before being built, it also creates a culture change to be more efficient. Jones RH 2019 article talks about how the system talks about how he works for the World Green Building Council. He organizes and promotes the building of efficient green buildings. The council seems to think this software is going to be a major factor in turning around the industry. The next thing going to improve the industry is equipping old machines with modern emission components. VDMA, Construction Equipment and Plant Engineering, 2019 talks about how trying to make it require that old machine have modern emission components. Modern emission components consist of EGRs and DEF systems. This will be a good first step in the industry, but the end goal is to go zero emissions. This is why many equipment manufacturers, such as Liebherr, Hitachi, Caterpillar, and Komatsu, are investing in full electric machines. More WM 2019. We are in a global time for environmental friendly improvements. Before we continue, we should first understand what the emission components do. On the picture on your slide, we have a diagram of an exhaust gas recirculation system, or other known as an EGR system. And packed brake 2014 article, How Do You Identify Problems Associated with the EGR Valve, explains how the system works. The article states, in a nutshell, the EGR is the reduced emissions. It does this by rerouting some of the exhaust gas coming from the engine back into the combustion chamber of the engine. This has the effect of reducing temperatures within the combustion chamber. When the air-fuel mixture in the engine is burnt at a high temperature, greenhouse gases such as nitrous oxide tend to be produced. By reducing the combustion temperatures through the use of EGR valve, this reduces dramatically without having a significant impact on the efficiency of the truck. In the end, the presence of an EGR makes your truck more environmentally friendly. End quote. To summarize the article, the EGR system takes unburnt exhaust from the engine and reintroduces it to the combustion chamber. In the picture above your screen, you have a diagram of how DEF, or diesel exhaust fluid system, works. Cummins' 2018 article, DEF Systems Q&A, states small quantities of diesel exhaust fluid, otherwise known as DEF, are injected into the exhaust upstream of the catalyst, where it vapors and decomposes to a form of ammonia and carbon dioxide. The ammonia is desired product which, in conjunction to the catalyst, converts the ammonia to harmless nitrogen and water. To summarize it, it takes bad exhaust from the diesel engine and turns it into water and nitrogen. This is where we come to a fork in the road. The solutions we have talked about above all sound amazing, but are very costly. This will become a problem for many small companies inside the industry. For example, my family owns and operates a small grading and utility company called J&N Contracting in Ackworth, Georgia. For the next part of the presentation, I'm going to go through my interview with the owner and CEO of J&N Contracting, Jay and Nicole Edwards, and see how these solutions could potentially put them out of business. When I sat down with Jay and Nicole Edwards, I talked about the emission systems now being required on their machines. It was not the first time they've investigated into this. Mr. Edwards talked about while back with his Caterpillar salesman contacted him about having to install modern emission systems on his machinery. J&N Contracting only have two machines with modern emission system out of the 30 they have. The salesman gave them a general quote around $12,000 on the machines that are able to have emission systems. The problem is about half the machines are too old to install the systems. This leads to having to replace the machines. These machines average around $70,000 to $150,000. Jay then states, to become fully emission compliant will cost us around $1 million. Small companies like J&N will not be able to afford a bill like that. This will lead to them having to extreme downsize or go out of business. This also affects their retirement. Like most Americans, they have a retirement fund they slowly grow over the lifespan of their company. But they plan to sell off large proportions of their machinery and use the money as well to put towards their retirement. If the government deems these machines unfit for use, then they will only be worth the amount of scrap metal. Overall, these proposed emissions components can risk disaster for small companies like J&N. In conclusion, I am a huge supporter of the things the industry has been trying to do to combat climate change. I also think that it will be a bad idea to require all machinery to get modern emission systems. I think that will be best for the government to continue with producing machines with emission system on it and let old machines continue to work until they cannot. If we kill off small businesses in the industry, you can expect for rates such as homes and basic utilities to go up. I also want to thank you for watching and hope this informs you about the construction industry. And these are my references.